Good evening and welcome to Breaking Views on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle for Karnataka is heating up. It's just, fourth and one of the most crucial states, fourth state this year to go to the polls, and one of the most crucial states, election contests that we are going to witness in the year 2023, and it's all set to roll out in the state of Karnataka. A lot is being spoken and said about candidate selection and how things are being delayed, why are things being delayed. And it is just not the story of one political party. While the BJP today, in fact, was being mocked and jibed by the Congress party about not being able to come up with their first list of candidates. It's about 36 days for the state to decide. All political parties are dealing with some sort of problems and uncertainties as far as the candidate selection is concerned, and that is going to be what we will be discussing today on Breaking Views, because it's a single phase election in the state of Karnataka that is going to take place on May 10th, and the results will be announced on May 13th. While campaigning, strategizing, political mudslinging is on, which is on the expected lines as it would be before any election, all three principal players for the throne of Karnataka are right now, they seem to be struggling to finalize their candidates. The Congress, the BJP and the JDS are trying to speed up the selection process, but their efforts are seemingly hampered by the infighting and efforts to zero in on the winnability factor. The Congress has though released its first list of 124 candidates, and that has given its state in charge, Randeep Singh Surjewala, the bragging rights over their opponents, the BJP, which is yet to come out with its first list of candidates. So let's listen in to what Randeep Surjewala said.
The Congress party was the first one to release its first list of 124 candidates for the ensuing Karnataka Assembly elections, much before the Code of Conduct. I am happy to again remind you that our choice was unanimous without any differences.
So why is there a delay as far as the BJP is concerned? What's their game plan? This is what we have so far gathered from our sources as far as the BJP's first list is concerned. Now, sources are telling us, actually they are saying, denying that there is any delay in the finalization of the candidates. The state core group met over the last weekend to discuss the candidates. State group has sent the names to the Central Election Committee. The Central Election Committee is going to meet between April 10th or 11th. Now, latest coming in is maybe on 13th of April as well. And then the names will be finalized. The BJP's wait and watch strategy is what they are attributing to the delay, saying that we want to first see what Congress is coming up on which seat, and then we will decide. BJP is also looking at the Congress and the JDS candidate list. The BJP is likely to announce, their list once the nomination process begins on April 13th. And there are plans to deny aspirants a chance to switch sides if tickets are denied. So they are saying that we are taking no chances, delaying it so that the rebel factor could be dented, could be dealt with. Now, there is a very exhaustive, as far as the BJP sources are concerned, a very exhaustive selection process which is taking place for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Micro process to finalize the name. Internal surveys are done. Most parties do that. Local leaders have been asked to vote for three best candidates, and leaders marked with preference on voting list as well. These internal ballot boxes are then brought to Bengaluru, and three names are finalized from each constituency. These names are tallied with the internal survey and opinion polls, and then, of course, a similar process was adopted in the Himachal Pradesh election, and then they are saying that this will be sent to the central leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party, then to decide of what, in fact, they want to do as far as the candidate lists are concerned. But while the Congress party may have come up with their first list of candidates, but it's not that everything is friction-free or, no problems as far as the Congress is concerned. Today, there was a meeting, in fact, to finalize the names of the candidates as far as the Congress party is concerned for their second list of the candidates. Some very important things we have learned from our sources of what was said as far as this entire selection process is concerned. So what's the Congress party doing, and what Rahul Gandhi has said as far as this entire selection process is concerned? And that also now gives you an idea, ladies and gentlemen, of the problems that the Congress is also facing as they move along in their candidate selection. Now, sources have told in the NDTV that Rahul Gandhi has asked top Karnataka leaders to sort out their differences. He has also asked the state leaders that state election committee has to send a single name list. Don't send us option, decide in Bengaluru and then send the names to Delhi. 40 more seats have been finalized for the second list. Congress leaders are meeting tomorrow to finalize the remaining names. Congress, meanwhile, as I told you, has announced so far 124 names. Now, Congress is also treading cautiously because notoriously, Congress is known to falter on crucial seats, the last end of the seats where there are warring factions, and that has often spelled trouble for the Congress party. Last year's Uttarakhand election was a key example of what had happened. Now, let's come to the regional player, the JDS. It's not just the BJP and the Congress. The regional player in the game, the JDS, is also facing issues with open threats and frictions within the top, the Gowda family itself. Take, for example, Kumaraswamy versus his sister-in-law, Bhavani Revanna, who has thrown in her hat in the ring and is unrelenting despite H.D. Kumaraswamy publicly saying that she's not being fielded. So all political parties, and especially the BJP this time, seems to be determined to minimize the mistakes in candidate selection. But is this election going to be an election, possibly the story of which political party has been able to manage their internal rift better? Let's open this up for our panelists, those who are joining us at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll go to them one by one and try and understand what's happening. Meanwhile, I just very quickly, at this moment, also want to play out for you. Let's just play out of how all the political parties, there are problems of groupism in all political parties. For example, the Congress party, these two faces that you will see on your screens right now, Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar, both of them, as Mr. Siddaramaiah said, he still wants to be the chief minister, and Siddaramaiah also has all the rights to, in fact, vie for that post. Is this going to be the big problem that Congress is still trying to sort out? Come to the BJP. It's problems for all political parties. Mr. Bommai is there, the chief minister. Mr. Yedurappa has been propped up now. A lot of space has been given to him. And we have, it's an open rift between B.L. Santosh, B.S. Yedurappa, and C.T. Ravi, who recently, in fact, made some statements against B.S. Yedurappa and ticket selection as well. And as I was talking about the JDS family, the Gowdas are at war with themselves as well. Joining me on the broadcast this evening, Captain Ganesh Karnik, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We also have T.M. Veera Raghav, executive editor. PQ Prime keeps a very, very close eye on everything which is happening in Karnataka and down south. We also have M. Nagaraju Radhav, MLC and spokesperson of the Congress Party. Nasir Hussain, senior leader of the JDS, also joining us this evening. Gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining us on Breaking Views. Veera Raghav, I want to start with you to put things in context. The BJP says it's an exhaustive selection process. That's what is causing the delay. Is this an election for every political party? The biggest challenge is how they manage their top leaders and their egos.
It's a very important aspect of this election. You will win or lose this election in terms of your candidate selection, like it may be in the case of any closely contested election. As far as the BJP is concerned, it's the question of whether they want to field all the incumbent MLAs, the rebels who came in. You were mentioning about those who switch sides in Karnataka. Yes, there are a bunch of MLAs who every party has to cater to because of the hold that they have over their constituency. So when you take winnability, these are the people who win. And it's because of their power and winnability that they're able to jump sides. But leave all that aside. And as you pointed out, Ankit, there are a lot of differences, different opinions in all the political parties. But as far as the Congress and BJP concerned, I think one positive takeaway is that this is in true sense a parliamentary election where you don't have that one firm chief ministerial candidate or a presidential style of race, because of which there is a greater effort to choose the kind of candidates that these parties have to field, because each candidate who's a potential chief ministerial aspirant post polls
Yes.
would like to field as many of his winnable MLAs in the seat. So I think the positive takeaway is that it's genuinely a parliamentary kind of democratic process that's in play, where there is a fight. And you're right, it's a very crucial aspect of this poll for the Congress, the remaining 100 seats, as well as for the BJP. Obviously, with the JDS, you know that it's going to be Kumaraswamy at the top, no matter what happens.
Also, Veera, as he's right, and in fact, Captain Ganesh Karnik, if I come to you, also what will be important is with all these big leaders, this might be a very exhaustive selection process. Everybody would want to push in their names, because eventually it will come down to how many MLAs are backing you for that chief minister's post if your party is able to cross that finish line. Is that the big reason, Captain Karnik, why the Bharatiya Janata Party is still struggling? Because you've not been able to manage the way all your leaders, Mr. Yediyurappa says something about, Shikaripura constituency, somebody else from the BJP would come out and make a contrary statement. We heard C.T. Ravi saying this time the ticket selection is not going to be in the kitchen of some leader. So there are very clear differences and lines drawn as far as your leaders are concerned, sir. Captain Karnik? Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Captain Karnik. What we'll try and do, we'll go across back to him. But Mr. M. Nagaraju Yadav, if I may come to you, the Congress, at least today, had the bragging rights. Mr. Randeep Surjewala came out and said that it's a unanimous process. But we've known how Congress, and there are examples of many state elections, specifically right at the end on 20, 30, 40 important seats where there are a lot of warring factions have faltered on ticket selection. What's the strategy this time? And is that the reason why Rahul Gandhi had to tell you today, your leaders today, don't fight, give me a single name and then we'll decide who gets the ticket?
This is the first time in Karnataka politics, you have seen the Indian National Congress has announced the candidate well before any other political party today. And 124 seats have been declared, and it's in history, I'm telling you. And we have definitely done that, and we are sure of winning these elections, and we are sure of getting everybody together. And also, we believed in a collective leadership of fighting these elections. We know how important this election is, not only for Karnataka, for the entire country. The principal opposition party is Congress, and we know what our responsibilities are. And we want to take the issues to the people and see that the good candidates have been fielded who believes in social justice, who believes in the ideology of Congress, who believes in fighting against corruption. Is this an agenda what we have? We are doing it. We'll be successful in doing it.
Yesterday in an interview to NDTV, Mr. Siddaramaiah said, I have aspirations to become the chief minister, and DK Shivkumar, so does DK Shivkumar. But what I'm trying to ask is, keeping that statement of his out, is there now a fight within the party leaders to try and push names from their own factions, people, those who are close to them, so that they can become the chief minister if they are able to cross that finish line?
100%. I want to give one clarification. I being the chief spokesperson of Congress party in Karnataka. Siddaramaiah Saab said very, very clearly that he is an aspirant, DK Shivkumar is an aspirant, Parameshwar is an aspirant. There are so many other leaders who have got capability to become the chief minister, no doubt about it.
Okay.
But there is a process of making a Congress legislative party leader to be elected by the opinion of the MLAs.
Okay.
Then the CWC members will take a decision on this. There is no confusion. It is misread by some media channels and made an issue out of it. That is one point.
Okay.
Today I'm telling you, Congress has come together. We are working so collectively. There is no difference of opinion with DK Shivkumar.
Okay. You've made your point, sir. Captain Karnik is back. Captain Karnik, BJP is a political party which is known to, be off the mark slightly earlier than all other political parties, be it campaigning their candidate selection, also their list. Why is the BJP in Karnataka this time lagging behind from the Congress party, which already has announced 124 candidates? Does that tell you the story for the Bharatiya Janata Party going ahead in this election? So much internal differences which are not being able to manage so far.
Good evening to you, Mr. Ankit, and greetings to all my co-panelists. We are a step ahead. In fact, the kind of campaign that was carried out during the past 3 months by the Chief Minister, by the President of the party, by our senior-most leader, Yediyurappa, and then subsequently by our Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister. So we have set the stage. And this time, with regard to seat selection, we have been extra cautious, and we have followed for the first time a very detailed kind of deliberations, starting from the grassroots level itself, taking opinions, conducting a ballot, and taking opinions from the core committee of each district. The process is on. By 7th, 8th, we'll be announcing our list, and please take it as a strategy. Take it as a strategy that in view of the importance of this election, we want to ensure that once the list is announced, it's going to be very smooth. Aspirations of our own party workers for any constituency, any seat, is a very natural thing in a political system. To contain if there is a difference, we have done a very deliberate procedure to select the right candidate approved by the entire cadre.
Right. So you are saying that the process is cumbersome because you don't want to make a mistake. Let me also get in Mr. Nasir Hussain, senior of the JDS, on this. Mr. Nasir Hussain, it's your party. Today, Mr. Devegowda, in fact, was giving interviews, and he said that a regional party on its own cannot form the government. But your party at this moment, the biggest problem for your party seems to be the messaging that is going across, the optics that are being presented in a battle between the first family members itself.
Let me make it very much clear that it was JDS that has announced the MLA candidates long before the Congress. It is almost 2 months now that 97 candidates from the Janata Secular have been declared. Now, it's a minor hiccup for a particular seat. That is a family matter. That will be not a bigger issue for Mr. H.D. Devegowda and Kumaraswamy and Revanaji to sit together and finalize it. And the advantage which the Janata Secular has is, be it from the state or be it from the grassroots level worker, they are very much clear about their chief ministerial candidate. Any person who is joining JDS and becoming a candidate, he has got a single face before us.
But Mr. Nasir Hussain, doesn't this give BJP the handle? You are saying that it is a family problem, and this is exactly the attack of the Bharatiya Janata Party on the JDS, a dynastic-run party. It's a family-run party, and look, they are not even able to figure out their own differences.
It is a minor problem. It has been blown out of proportion. It is a minor problem which is blown out of proportion. It will be settled within a couple of days. It is a very minor problem. What I am trying to convey through your media is that the moral of the worker and the mind of the workers and the heart of the workers is very much clear. The voters of Karnataka are very much clear. We have got a single face as the chief ministerial candidate who is pro-farmer, who is pro-poor.
Right.
Veera
Raghav, you were pointing out at the beginning. Sir, let me take this question to Veera Raghav. You were pointing out in the beginning that in some manner it might be seen as a true democratic process where candidates are slugging it out, winnability, all those factors are being seen. But does not having a single chief ministerial face for the Bharatiya Janata Party, at least it's Basavaraj Bommai, who is in fact leading the BJP, behind the scenes many things can happen. But for the Congress not having a single face, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? Because does that in any way confuse the voter? Who actually are they going to vote for? Or does the symbol or the ticket, that's the bottom line as far as the Karnataka election is concerned?
Ankit, at the end of the day, we're a parliamentary democracy. You're not supposed to vote the chief ministerial face. You're supposed to vote your candidates in an election, right? So unfortunately, over the many years, we have been at a personality-driven political space. It's this one. So to ask whether it is, yes, there are disadvantages in it, but there are advantages in it as well as the Congress sees it. Even for the BJP, there have been times when they've projected Yediyurappa as the strong chief ministerial candidate, which has allowed them to muster close to a majority in the state. How it's going to impact when there's weakness at the top, one sees there's confusion at the top, will depend on the electorate. But for the Congress's point of view, I think it's also a question of getting everybody together, because while Siddaramaiah may be the tallest leader for the party, and the same for the BJP as well, while Yediyurappa may be the tallest leader for the party at the moment, especially for the Congress, while Siddaramaiah is the tallest leader for the party, he may not be able to win an election all on his own steam. He will need a DK Shivkumar, he will need a Parameshwara, he will need a Mallikarjun Kharge, he will need the entire party to back this out. So the question is that the moment you start projecting a chief ministerial face, then the others stop working for the party, or the internal divisions become stronger, which is possibly why they've chosen to play it open game. Wait for it at the end of the day, after the elections are over, to decide who's going to make it for Chief Minister. Obviously, not everyone finds it as simple as the Gowdas who control their party.
Yeah, but Captain Karnik, I'm coming to you, Mr. Yadav, but Captain Karnik, what Veer Raghav was saying, so while there is a chief ministerial face as far as the BJP is concerned, but it seems that the chief minister is undermined with the tall stature as far as Yediyurappa is concerned, the way he's conducting his business. He's trying to be, BL Santosh and CT Ravi are trying to undermine Yediyurappa, the way they are conducting their business. It seems that despite having a face, the open war in the Bharatiya Janata Party, that possibly could spell doom for the party come May 13th.
Ankit, that is how you are look at it. Each political party, whether it is Congress or BJP or JDS, we have our own specific, specificity as far as the strategies are concerned. Now, the groupism within the party doesn't mean that we are fighting among ourselves. Aspirations of top leaders doesn't mean that they're fighting among themselves. There is a common agenda. You ask any one of us, we would like to form the government on our own today. Accordingly, we will strategize our move. Now, you quote few names in BJP, few names in Congress, few names in JDS. Mr. Nasir Hussain has been very open in admitting that it's a non-issue because it is one party managed by one political family, and they decided.
No. The most popular name in Karnataka. H.D. Kumaraswamy is the most popular name in Karnataka.
Okay. Sir, let him complete. I'll come to you. Let him complete.
Kumaraswamy has said that he's also in the...
Sir, let him complete. I'll come to you, sir. I'll come to you.
Muslim candidate.
Mr. Nasir Hussain, I'll come to you. Let him complete.
In Karnataka, that is why we are very much clear.
Okay, Mr. Nasir Hussain, one by one, let him complete. I'll come to you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. As far as BJP is concerned, we are going ahead with our tallest leader, Yediyurappa, going around the state.
Right.
And we are going ahead with the performance of the central government and performance of Mr. Bommai's government. And we are going ahead with the collective leadership. Once the elections are over, results are announced, the parliamentary board will take a decision who is to be the chief minister. Presently, our chief minister is Mr. Bommai.
Okay.
Under his leadership, we are going ahead with the election.
So the BJP also keeping it open. It's not that if they win this election by any chance, then Mr. Bommai can be assured of being rewarded as the chief minister. They're keeping it open. That's the strategy for every political party before, in fact, the votes are counted. But Mr. Nagaraju Yadav, for the Congress party, and there are examples within the Congress right now, same kind of conundrum, confusion in Rajasthan. It was said that we are not fighting the election under anybody's leadership, collective leadership, so and so forth. And then we saw what happened between Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Sachin Pilot. The war is still going on. Madhya Pradesh, you lost your government because of this confusion. Are there worries for the Congress party as far as their past history is concerned being repeated in Karnataka?
But you should know very well, Karnataka is completely different kind of a political activities in South India and compared to any other state in India. But now coming to Karnataka, I will tell you, there are so many leaders. N number of leaders are leaving BJP and coming. N number of leaders are leaving JDS and coming towards Congress. What does it say? They are not ordinary karyakartas. They are all former ministers and MLAs are leaving the party and coming and joining Congress every day. What does it show? The people want a change and they want to get out of the 40% sarkar. They want to know that the communal government should go. The secular government should come back and constitutional norms should be enforced and people who are involved in corruption should be punished. This is what the people of Karnataka are looking forward. And JDS is the one party which is very pseudo-secular in nature, trying to say Kumaraswamy is the chief minister. One fine day he comes and says that if my single party, he knows very well he will not cross more than 25-30 seats. He says single party majority he comes. I am ready to make Muslim also as chief minister. I am ready to make Dalit also chief minister. What sort of nonsense is trying to play around? This is not correct.
But that's a political party. And let Mr. Nasir Hussain answer. Let Mr. Nasir Hussain answer. So let Mr. Nasir Hussain answer. That's a political party where both the BJP and Congress have done the business in before as well.
Dual fears of Congress.
That was too much.
Go ahead, Mr. Nasir Hussain.
Let me make it clear.
Nothing is too much.
Mr. Nasir Hussain, Mr. Yadav, let him respond. Mr. Yadav, let's not make it a two-member debate, sir. You made your point. Let Mr. Nasir Hussain respond. Go ahead, Mr. Nasir Hussain.
Is Mr. Kumaraswamy. And now, the Congress party, it was the Congress leaders who came to the doorsteps of H.D. Devegoda and Kumaraswamy to make him the chief minister.
That is
When did you come to
criminal force
understand
out of power, not because you're a leader.
Yes,
Not
what do you mean by
because
you're a
you're
leader? What is your stand on the hijab
Okay,
issue?
okay.
What is
I'm telling you,
that is
we
Congress?
do only
Because you
because
cannot
Okay,
keep it
gentlemen,
silent.
this is not the kind of discussion we would like to have on NDTV.
Yes.
So let's calm down. Let's calm our tempers. Can I just quickly get 10 seconds closing comments from Veera Raghav? Veera Raghav, we spoke. Can you put their faders down, please? I'm sorry, I have to do this, but you leave me no option. Veera Raghav, is this election, like we started in the beginning, is this election going to be decided on who manages their internal rift and can? For the BJP, like he said, like the BJP spokesperson said, it is about double engine sarkar. They want to bring the prime ministerial factor. The Congress wants to keep it local.
Well, I think it's an arithmetic election largely, and hence it's very important to choose your candidates. Chemistry is not the main factor in this election, though Siddaramaiah, Yediyurappa, Kharge, and the Prime Minister himself does have a chemistry with the electorate. But I think the bottom line of this election is that it's an arithmetic election, and hence it's very important. Just to add one last point on the JDS, the Gowdas have been able to control their party, or will they be able to control their family?
That's an important one, and that's the thinking point that we leave for the Gowdas and the JDS. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this evening on the broadcast. That's all the time that we have on Breaking News. News and updates continue on NDTV. Thank you so much for being with us.